Well, I can definitely say I was wrong about what the price of the Steam Machine was going to be, which kinda sucks because it will make it unaffordable for a lot of the people who wanted it. It makes me worried about the cost of the Steam frame as well, seeing as I was wrong about the aforementioned Steam Machine price. Even though it isn't as affected in the same way as the Steam Machine was, I do believe the price will be boosted above my initial predictions, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Before that, however, on Friday, June 19th, I went to check my subscriber numbers only to find out that somehow 31 subscribers disappeared from my count in a few hours. I know it was a few hours because when I checked that morning, I was at 1,514 subscribers, but when I checked that afternoon, I was at 1,483, so I'm not sure what happened there, but if you were subscribed to my channel but aren't anymore, please check and resubscribe. If you weren't subscribed to my channel before, now would be the best time to do so, as I release videos weekly about gaming, VR, and hardware. Those are my biggest passions right now and will probably remain that way for the rest of my life, so I'll always want to make content on them. Hello all you wonderful gamers, VR divers, and hardware enthusiasts, and thank you once again joining me on Weaver's Wonderful World. In this video, we'll be going over the information on the Steam Machine release, how my predictions in the last video were wrong, and a bit of my worries for the Steam frame. Don't get me wrong, I'm still planning on buying the Steam frame, but with the way things are looking for the cost of hardware, well, we'll get to that later. So, it's finally here, the long-awaited price and release of the Steam Machine, and it's very fair to say people are not happy about the price. It's $1050 for the base 512GB model and $1350 for the 2TB. Those are high prices for what the Steam Machine is, and while it has a lot of people upset, can you really blame Valve? They said in a blog post, Steam Machine, like our other hardware products, is made up of many components that we source from manufacturers around the world. The price at which we sell our hardware is a direct result of the cost of these components. We felt like we had a good understanding of how those costs might change over time when we first started sourcing the Steam Machine back in 2023. That understanding was born from the many years of data we all have about the evolution of PC hardware prices, primarily that it tends to get cheaper over time as new technology arrives. Over the past year or so, that has changed quickly and significantly, most visibly for RAM and storage components. There are a variety of reasons, all of which are affecting hardware products everywhere. The overall effect is that our original goal for the price of the Steam Machine is no longer viable. So the prices we're sharing today reflect the state of the world for manufacturing, or more accurately, it reflects the prices of the components we've secured over the last 6 months. Price wasn't the only thing impacted by all of this, availability was as well. There were periods where we found we couldn't source some of the components at all, at any price. More than anything else, this has impacted the number of units we've been able to produce for launch. These prices are high because of AI data centers, OpenAI, Nvidia, Microsoft, Micron, Amazon, Elon Musk, and any other AI bro you can think of creating this artificial RAM crisis. Because of this, instead of having the 2TB at $1050, it's the 512GB, which just almost doesn't seem worth it. And I'm currently debating on getting the 512GB or just saving up and building a more powerful low-end SteamOS PC. Now, of course, I have to get it because it's something that I want to review and test on, so picking one up is almost non-negotiable for me since the 512GB is still within my price range. It just means that I'll be able to upgrade to bigger storage later and test out the install process for SteamOS. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't be building a different PC to test the functionality as well. That is still very much a plan I have and want to do because I'm just a hardware geek like that. But having the baseline Steam Machine will allow me to compare the two together once I am finished. A comparison that I have a feeling a lot of people might do. But to every explanation, there is always something more. According to Pirate Nation on Twitter, Valve has explained why its new Steam Machine is so expensive after players criticize the price. The entry-level model starts around €1,000, while the higher-end version with more storage costs up to €1,500, and Valve says no discounts are planned. According to Valve, keeping the price high helps support an open and sustainable PC gaming ecosystem over the long term. The company also says that users with compatible hardware can install the same operating system on their own PCs. For those who find the Steam Machine too expensive, Valve suggests either building a PC themselves or buying a traditional game console. It may seem a little bit harsh, I can tell you though that Valve doesn't mean it to be be. Unfortunately, that is how it does come across, and it can be a hard pill to swallow. But what I do agree with is that Valve telling people to build their own PCs, that's been a sentiment since the start. That's why SteamOS is free after all. Valve wants an open ecosystem. Locking SteamOS behind a paywall would heavily limit that open ecosystem. So if you have an older PC with specs that are better than the Steam machine, just load SteamOS onto it. Hell, do it with your higher end gaming rig, and I'm pretty sure you'll be happy you did. So with the release of the Steam machine into the reservation system, I'm sure a lot of people have already signed up for it, but my biggest questions are to those who are watching this: did you sign up? If so, which one did you sign up for? If not, are you going to put what money you did save up for it towards building a better PC or upgrading one? Now, on to the last thing that I've been dreading since the announcement of the Steam machine. I was wrong on my predictions for the Steam machine price. So will I be wrong on the Steam machine as well? I really hope not, because if both headset options are above $1,000, that's going to put a lot of potential VR divers off the headset. I'll still be picking up the 1TB version, but not a lot of people are going to want to spend that much money on a VR headset, even if it is like a deck for your face, and I can't blame them for one moment either. VR started out pretty cheap, even if you need a powerful computer to play, and with cheaper alternatives like the Quest 3 and Quest 3S headsets that can still play Steam VR games through Steam Link, that would seem to be a more affordable option, even if trying to play PC VR games is a little bit harder to set up. That being said, meta is also a part of the reason why the Steam machine is so expensive and why the Steam frame would be expensive as well, not to mention a big part of the reason why the VR industry is in the shambles it is right now, because of the way they've been treating VR studios. So for the average consumer, the Quest headsets may seem worth it, but for those who are like me and those that are watching this video, I think the higher cost of the Steam frame might be better off, considering not only the software is moddable, but also the hardware on top of the potential add-ons for it could be worth the cost of entry. That brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this content, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more like it. Since my drop last Friday, I have climbed back up to 1,498 subscribers, so we're almost back to 1,500. Also, leave a comment down below either answering the question I asked a bit ago or letting me know how you feel about the potential price for the Steam frame. I'm still looking forward to it, but I definitely cannot recommend it to average consumers if it's going to be that expensive. Also, check out the description for links to my gaming channel and socials where I post playthroughs and gameplay shorts. Currently, I'm working my way through Pragmata. That game is a lot of fun and I think everyone should play it. Also, check out the link to my Discord server where if you join there, we can talk about all things VR, video games, any hobbies you might be interested in, and maybe even play some multiplayer games together. But once again, thank you for joining me on Weaver's Wonderful World, and remember, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Bacon is the best breakfast food, so eat up, stay healthy, and I'll catch you wonderful gamers, VR divers, and hardware enthusiasts in the next video. Oorah!